Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bad Bookers Wrestling Podcast. My name is Jack, and today we are going to be reviewing SmackDown Live. I've already recorded this once, but my phone ran out of space somehow. I don't know how that happened. Doesn't matter. SmackDown Live. Before we get into it, I want you to like, subscribe on this video right now if you haven't done so already, and leave a comment down below on how you thought SmackDown Live was. How you think these changes have gone. Do you like it? Do you not? Are you going to give it time? Are you not going to give it time? Are you not going to watch it anymore? Are you going to watch it but complain? I don't know. Comment down below. What are you going to do? But we kicked off SmackDown Live with Shane McMahon coming out onto the stage. Was it a stage? I guess it was. He was backstage, but he was on like a platform. He was doing like a prep talk or something like that. To inform the superstars about what's happening on Monday Night Raw. Basically, he brought up Paige, and Paige is no longer GM of SmackDown, which confirming there won't be a GM of Raw, because it'd be a bit weird to have a GM on Raw but not SmackDown, and Paige hasn't really done anything wrong, so why is she getting punished? I don't know, it's just a bit weird. Right. All this was happening. So it's a big, serious speech about what's going to go down on SmackDown. Big E and Xavier Woods were just eating a steak next to Daniel Bryan and looking at him. Big E just looked at him like, what are you going to do about it? Big E's fantastic. Big E is like a national treasure. If I was American and I had someone like Big E to look up to, what a bloke. Just what a bloke. He would be the first national treasure because he's just amazing. But during this time, Becky Lynch has come out to the ring. Her music hit, she comes out onto the ring, and she said she doesn't care who runs the show because the man runs the show. No one else can run the show but the man. She isn't going to be going to any corporate meetings and listen to the higher-ups speak about who runs the show. She runs the show. She is the man. And all that the McMahons can do for her are to give her Ronda Rousey. After what happened on Sunday in the title match where Ronda came and pushed the ladder over to carry on their storyline, Ronda Rousey wrote the next chapter in their book. And Vince McMahon, not Vince McMahon, he came out later. We get onto that in a bit. Charlotte then came out. Oh, first, Becky called Ronda a Roddy Piper cosplayer, which was Becky, chill out, man. And Charlotte then came out, and Becky was like, "Oh look, talking about cosplayers, yeah, Charlotte's here." And Charlotte was like, "Becky, you need to get behind me, get in the queue if you want Ronda." And Becky was like, "Charlotte, I'm done standing behind you. I no longer stand behind me. It's time for you to get into my shadow because I'm going after Ronda." It's like, oh, that's good. I like that. And before long, Asuka then came out, the new women's champion, Asuka. She said, "Can we all just shut up about Ronda because we should be talking about one thing, and that is me as SmackDown Live women's champion." Yeah. And then Vince McMahon came out. Not after, because it's a women's segment, they need to be bickering at some point, don't they? That seems to be the norm. So they were bickering for a little bit, and then Vince McMahon came out and said it made sense. It was weird because it sounded like he was kind of burying Becky and Charlotte a little bit, but it also sounded like he was talking a hell of a lot of sense. And it was just like he was saying, Ronda Rousey said that she was going to write the next chapter in your story. She did that. You need to kind of buck up your ideas, and there's only one person you need to go after, and that's Ronda Rousey. There's no one else. You need to basically sort your life out and do something about Ronda Rousey, not be here bickering. Basically, I can't remember exactly what he said, but I've seen some fans saying, "Oh, he's burying Becky, he's burying Charlotte," and I could see where they're coming from. But he also, Ronda did say she was going to write the next chapter. She did do that. Charlotte completely destroyed her with a kendo stick at Survivor Series. Becky has when Becky and SmackDown invaded Raw just before Survivor Series, when Becky had her face broken. That stupid term, face broken. Ronda was in an armbar from Becky. So this was Ronda getting her revenge, and Vince was saying, now that she's got her revenge, you need to bounce back and do something about it, not just bitch and whine. So, yeah, makes sense. It's Vince McMahon. He probably could have done it in a better way that doesn't harm Becky or Charlotte, but he got the point across, I guess. What else was I saying? I completely forgot where I was going there. That was what he said. He says he calls out Charlotte and Becky because he thought that he was like, look, you two think you deserve everything, blah blah blah. So I think that's where he thought that he might be burying them. Maybe it could sound like that. Like I said, I can see where it's coming from. But he also said a correct thing about Ronda, and it puts Ronda over, and it puts some motivation towards Charlotte and Becky to go and win a certain Rumble that's coming up. But then he turns to Asuka and said, Asuka, right, do you want to defend your title tonight? The crowd are like, crowd are dreadful tonight, may I say. I just realised I'm a bit wonky. The crowd are dreadful. They made one reaction, and we'll get on to that when we get to there, but they were so quiet, so dead. It nearly, for me, it nearly hindered the show completely. It nearly ruined it because of how bad the crowd were. They couldn't even do a CM Punk chant properly, but we'll get on to that. Yeah, Vince was like, Asuka, do you want to defend your title? And they were like, Asuka was like, yeah, go for it. Vince McMahon brings out Naomi, and we said we were going to get fresh matchups. We don't, I'm 100% sure we haven't seen Asuka versus Naomi before, so that's good. Fresh matchup. I don't know whether I'm a fan of Naomi or not. I just think her character's a bit non-existent. I was going to say naff, but non-existent, I think. She's a decent enough wrestler. I'm just never invested in her, let's say. I don't remember a match of hers that I've really, really liked. Just kind of go with the flow kind of thing. So, yeah, it's just my preference. Some people really like Naomi, some people really hate her. I'm just kind of like on the fence of, she's been here for years and she still hasn't changed my opinion on anything. So it's a bit, to be in the company for years and not do that is a bit off in my opinion. But we had Asuka versus Naomi. It was a decent match. Asuka was carrying Naomi through it, in my opinion, and she made Naomi tap out to the Asuka lock, picking up the win. Charlotte and Becky were out at ringside still. No idea why. Why were they there? Why were they trying to take? Were they there trying to take a little bit of the glory away from Asuka? Like, have the spotlight on them? Like, there was no need for them to be there at all. They weren't involved in the match. Now that they've scrapped the rematch clause, which they did last night, Becky's not having a rematch, so why is she out there? Let other people have it and not have you, staring down at them at ringside. But, Asuka won, carries on the storyline. It was an okay match, carried Naomi through it. Let's see where we can go from here. Let's see who Asuka can face at the Royal Rumble, because we do need to start building for the Royal Rumble, really, because it's not too far away, I don't think. I don't know exactly what, is it 19th of January? Is it like a month's time? So we need to start getting some people together. And are we going to get Becky and Charlotte again versus Asuka? We'll have to wait and see. But The Miz then turned up backstage and knocked on the McMahon's office door even, and he was knocking like frantically, like proper like fast. And Vince McMahon came out and was like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "Oh, I thought it was a manly knock." And he was like, "Oh, is Shane in there?" And Vince was like, "He can't come out to play at the moment, sorry." And Miz was like, "Look, me and Shane, we could be the best tag team in the world. 2/3 the best tag team. He's a third the best wrestler in the world. I need your blessing, Vince McMahon, to make me Shane's partner. And it's good because you can put any promo in front of The Miz and he'll deliver it superbly. Absolutely superbly. I've not really been invested in The Miz, Shane McMahon, and even this, it rose a smile on my mouth. Just because of how good The Miz delivered it, talking about having to have Vince's blessing to be Shane's partner, obviously insinuated to be tag team partner, but Vince was like, what the hell are you on about? And, The Miz is just, he can do anything. This is why he's got a TV show in it, because he can do anything and people will watch. So, good for him. Anyway, Vince said to him, look, I'll find you a partner, I'll find you a tag team, you need to prove to me that you can be my son's tag team partner. So, perform this match, if you win, I'll think about it. Miz was like, okay, cool, think about it, and then Vince just slams the door on his face, and his hood flew back. It was quite cool looking. Next up, talking about a man who should have his own TV show, Rusev and Lana had a backstage interview, and Rusev was saying that Shinsuke should be scared of him. He's a monster, but he's also handsome, and he's got great biceps, and a fantastic beard you could sell on eBay to make sweaters for £1,000. And have you seen Shinsuke recently? And Lana brought out this picture of Shinsuke, in his blue onesie, like playsuit kind of thing, and they were like, he looks like Sonic the Hedgehog. And I think anyone else that would reference Sonic the Hedgehog movie would probably have been like, oh, for crying out loud. But because it's Rusev, he just pulled it off in that such a likeable way. I don't know why. Pulled it off in such a likeable way, and it's like, what's the word? It's now. What's the word? I've forgotten the word. Oh well, forget about it. Up to date, I guess you can say. and Rusev, once again, fantastic babyface. He says he's gonna win the United States Championship because obviously he pins Shinsuke last week in the tag team match. Therefore, he should technically be number one contender because he's pinned the champion. And that's what was set up for next week, which is another taped show like Raw was. Raw's next week will be taped, same as SmackDown, I believe. And it's confirmed that they will have a United States Championship match. I haven't seen any spoilers yet, so I assume Shinsuke retained, but we'll have to wait and see. I'll probably go on Twitter after this and see any spoilers, see if I can see anything. But yeah, great babyface promo once again from Rusev, like he did last week or the week before. But next up we had Jeff Hardy. He came out to the ring and was talking about Samoa Joe wanting to apologise. We've been getting this thing saying we're going to get Samoa Joe apologising to Jeff Hardy for weeks of torment about his former demons. And Jeff came out and said, yep, I've made mistakes. And but that was then. This is now. And I'm not going to make those mistakes again. I wake up every day thankful that I'm here and raring to go. He calls out Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe obliges to come out and says, look, Jeff, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this isn't an apology, it's an intervention. We're at the holiday season, Jeff. It's a tough time of year for you. We want to all band together. I've known you for years, and I don't want you to be a mess that I know you will be, because you most definitely will fall to demons again. And Jeff was like, I know that I won't go back to my demons. I've made a mistake once. I won't make it again. But Joe, I've seen, me and my demons have seen straight through you. And you pick people's weaknesses out because of your own insecurities. The own insecurities that you've been here for 2 years and not won a single championship. And someone needs to get Triple H out there and say to some of these superstars, NXT exists. Like Samoa Joe, he's a 2-time NXT champion, man. Like, Come on, sort your life out. It's got the WWE logo in the logo. It's got the WWE logo in small print. Yeah. Come on, it exists. Main roster, it exists. Samoa Joe wasn't happy by this. Obviously, he was like, he must be thinking, I've won NXT championships. Of course, I've won championships. Just come here. Goes to attack Jeff Hardy, and Jeff Hardy, sees it coming. Him and his demons saw through all this. Twist of fate. Jeff Hardy is standing tall. I'm liking this feud, to be fair, but I just don't know when it's going to end. Is it going to carry on forever? It just seems like one of those feuds that is just going to carry on forever, and I don't see a natural ending to it. Like, is it going to end on a SmackDown randomly? Is it going to go all the way to the Royal Rumble? I don't know. I just don't know. I'm enjoying it so far. Hopefully they don't overdo it or underdo it, I guess. Just carry it on as it's going. Because at the moment, everything that Joe's doing is fantastic. It adds a bit of realism to it as well. Because obviously they're bringing in Jeff's problems. Former problems, anyway. So, good. It's good. Anyway, The Miz comes out for his match, his tag team match. And 5 people in the crowd started to chant CM Punk as his partner. 5 people. The rest did not care. The rest probably didn't even know who CM Punk was. Because that was the first time I had heard the crowd, and it was 5 blokes, 5 probably fat blokes, a bit like me, going on shouting CM Punk and getting no reaction from the crowd. They instantly stopped. I think they said it 3 times and then stopped. As Mandy Rose came out to tag team with The Miz. So it was just like, right, Mandy Rose has come out. There's only one team that can realistically face these 2 here. Out comes R-Truth and... I was going to say The Miz then. R-Truth and Carmella. I guess they were a tag team. And R-Truth was saying, look, we won Mixed Match Challenge on Sunday. We're going to Stamford to the WWE headquarters. And I can't wait now to face off against The Miz and Maurice. And it would... The Miz and Maurice stick would be good if he hadn't have done it with Carmella. I think it would have been an excellent thing to say if he hadn't have done it with Carmella just a few months back. Because now it's just rehashing content, isn't it? It's just rehashing it. Like, I'm pretty sure Carmella laughed, and it was just like, he did the exact same thing to you. And now they've put in another blonde person. I'm starting to get a bit tired of this. Like, R-Truth's great. Don't start rehashing stuff, because that's just going to kill a character if you start rehashing it. But they had a match. It was a really short match. 3 minutes, 5 minutes, if that. Skull-crushing finale. The Miz pinning R-Truth. After, they had a dance break, and it quickly turned into The Miz hitting that, winning the match, and they went off celebrating. Simple as that. It's pretty nothing match, to be fair. We didn't hear anything else of it throughout the night. Just next week we're going to have Shane McMahon on Miz TV. So, good-o. I'm still not really invested in the storyline, but we'll have to see where it goes, I guess. The Usos come out and says, no matter who's in charge, they run the SmackDown tag division. They have the tag division on lock, as they used to say. This is the Uso Penitentiary. Welcome. I was like Yoda then. I should have said welcome first. They also said that they didn't lose to the Bar on Sunday. They weren't the ones that got pinned. It was the New Day. Xavier Woods was the one that got pinned. So they want a rematch. They want a rematch right now. And they called out the Bar, but the Bar didn't come out. It was the Good Brothers that came out. The club, for the first time, and apparently this is what Carl Anderson said, the first time in 4 months since August, they have been on TV. The club, the Good Brothers, one of the best tag teams in the world, haven't been on SmackDown for 4 months. Mad. Absolutely mad. But yeah, that's what he said. He said, like, how dare they be off TV for 4 months? They don't deserve that. And they are the best tag team, or not. They're not the best tag team, but they're one of the best tag teams in the last decade. How could they be off camera for 4 months? And the Usos like, look, it wasn't our fault that you fell through the cracks, but if you want to fight about it, get in the ring. And the Good Brothers are like, yeah, cool, let's get in the ring. And they finally have a match on SmackDown. Finally. And two good tag teams. You know it's going to be a good match. The ref comes sliding in. Out of nowhere, the ref just slides halfway across the ring, starts the match, and it was a decent match between two decent to great. Yeah, decent's really like underrating them a little bit. They're two great tag teams. They had a decent match, but it ended with a no contest / DQ finish because the Bar's music hit, and the Usos obviously got distracted. The Bar then came running down to the ring even. One of the Usos jumps onto Luke Gallows, I believe it was, did a flog splash and went for the pin, but out of nowhere, SAnitY just came out and just destroyed everyone. Destroyed the club and destroyed the Usos, ending in a no contest, I assume. And in the space of, 15 minutes, we've now brought both the club and SAnitY from the depths of obscurity, and we've now got SAnitY, who look strong because they attacked two teams, the club, who look good because they just put on a decent match with the Usos. The Usos, once again, they put on a decent match with the club, so they're looking good. The Bar, who are champions still. You've also got the New Day in there as well. So finally, if you just take out the New Day of this equation, because they weren't around, you've got 4 fantastic tag teams there. Do something about it, because this made the tag division seem relevant again, because you've got more than 2 or 3 tag teams to go by, which is good. It's all good. Next up, we had Nakamura doing a promo about how can you be scared of Rusev when Rusev does. He pulled up a load of clips from Total Divas. He was like, "How can I be scared of a man that mows his lawn in his pants and does a barbecue naked?" It's because Rusev's a man's man, Shinsuke. You won't know anything about that, would you? Too scared to mow the lawn in your pants, aren't you? Rusev can do what he wants. He's a man's man. You should be scared. He's going to take your US title off you. Maybe. But yeah, standard heel promo. Didn't last too long. And next up we had the main event of the evening. Tag team match between Daniel Bryan and Cien Almas, a man we haven't seen for ages once again, versus AJ Styles and SmackDown Live's newest competitor, full-time competitor, Mustafa Ali. He's no longer on 205. He is a full-time member of the SmackDown roster, which is fantastic. Let's get through this fairly quick, because I realise I've run on quite a bit. Daniel Bryan came out and he cut a promo saying that he killed the Yes Movement, he destroyed the house that AJ Styles built, but he's not a destroyer, he's a creator. He likes to create things, so he's going to create a whole new world. But the fans are going to boo him because the fans fear change. And he said that the one time the fans cheered was because of this. Remember this. Where they were, like Fresco, I can't remember where they were, is the #1 place in California for pollution. They cause the most pollution. The fans cheered that. Does that show a state of Americans? Like, I don't think anyone in England would cheer. It'd be kind of like silent, like, oh, he's just thrown a fat there and made us look bad. But no, they were like, yeah, we look bad, let's cheer it. Idiots. You're a bunch of idiots. Daniel Bryan obviously questions why they're proud, and which is like, you're supposed to be Daniel Bryan look like a heel, not have the crowds look like numbskulls. But they did it on. They put it on themselves. They put it on themselves, and they were like, "Don't worry, you've got someone that could lead you and show you the way." That is your WWE champion, Daniel Bryan. He holds up the belt before Cien Almas comes out, and then the other two come out, and they have a very, very good match, a very good tag team match between 4 very, very talented wrestlers. I wouldn't mind seeing this again, if I'm honest. I wouldn't mind seeing Ali versus Almas. That would be excellent. Obviously, Almas has had a brilliant match already against Daniel Bryan and AJ, I believe. So, good. If you're going to put Mustafa Ali straight into this kind of like main event scene, that's mental. And Mustafa Ali pins Daniel Bryan. Mustafa Ali pins the WWE champion, so technically Mustafa Ali's in line for a title shot here, which is just absolutely mental. The finish of the match was Ali hit a DDT onto Daniel Bryan, and he went up to the top rope to hit this this reversed 450, the 054, but Almas kind of jumped up behind him to try and get him off. Ali elbows Almas off, who lands perfectly in enough space for AJ Styles to phenomenal forearm him, so he doesn't interfere with Ali doing the 054 and pinning Daniel Bryan. Unfortunately for Ali, he did the reversed 450 and kind of landed on Daniel Bryan's face with his knee. It did look quite painful. Hopefully it doesn't happen again, because if it happens a couple of more times, he's going to get the Nia Jax treatment. I think fingers crossed that Daniel Bryan's not injured. He didn't look injured, he walked away. So, but, you know, this hasn't happened on 205 Live. It might just be an absolute coincidence that he's finally now full-time on the main roster and he just cocked up a little bit. But hopefully it's not a reoccurring theme. But I've got faith in Ali not to do it again. It's a high-fly move. These things happen. But is it on the same level as Nia Jax completely knocking Becky's nose to the other side of her face? I wouldn't say so. But if it happens a couple of more times, people are gonna start turning. So just be careful. Just be careful, boys. But yeah, that was SmackDown. A decent SmackDown, I thought. Good.